In our last video, we dove into Jinhsi's kit, build, and some team comp ideas. In this video, we're exploring team comps in more depth and the best characters to pair with Jinhsi. We'll break down why they work and share some tips to help them synergize perfectly with Jinhsi. My hope is to provide insights to help you build your ideal Jinhsi team. For a full rundown of Jinhsi's kit, check out my previous video, linked in the description or comments. Let's jump right in. Jinhsi's optimal playstyle revolves around her incandescent stacks for massive damage with her Luminous Epiphany Resonance skill. Characters with coordinated attacks complement Jinhsi well, boosting stack generation significantly. That said, let's take a look at the characters that could complement Jinhsi's playstyle. Let's start with the first one. Verina is an excellent match for Jinhsi due to her ability to perform coordinated attacks via Resonance Liberation, which can trigger every second. This synergy allows you to generate 3 stacks every 1 or 3 seconds whenever her Resonance Liberation is active. More importantly, Verina is a monster when it comes to buffing her teammates. Let me list what Verina can bring to your team. 1. Provides a 15% elemental damage boost with her Outro skill. 2. She grants an additional 20% attack boost to all members with her Gift of Nature inherent skill via Outro, Heavy Attack, Mid-Air Attack, or Resonance Liberation. 3. The Rejuvenating Glow set fits her perfectly, boosting all members' attacks through healing. Number 4. Using Bellborn Geoshalone as her main echo provides a 50% damage reduction and 10% damage boost for all team members. 5. Her 4th Resonance Chain gives a 15% Spectro damage boost for Jinhsi. And number 6. For whales, heavy or mid-air attacks trigger an additional coordinated attack, adding to Jinhsi's incandescent stacks. Verina's buffs also apply to all characters, not just one, which is a huge advantage in this game. Plus, her Resonance Liberation gauge is pretty easy to fill with the right build, and her kit makes healing straightforward. But if you don't have Verina or need to use her on a different team, a good alternative would be Baizhi. Baizhi is a solid healer who can also pull off coordinated attacks with her Resonance Liberation. However, these coordinated attacks have a 2.5 second cooldown and can only hit 4 times with a full Forte gauge, or 6 times if you have her at S4. Due to this cooldown, she can't fully capitalize on Jinhsi's Outro skill, which reduces the incandescent stack generation cooldown from 3 seconds to 1 second. On the bright side, she provides a good number of buffs, though not as effectively as Verina. Here's what Baizhi brings to your team. 1. Her Outro skill boosts the incoming character's damage by 15%. 2. With her Harmonic Range Inherent skill, her Resonance skill generates Euphoria Fragments, boosting the active character's attack by 15% when picked up. Number 3. Her kit works well with the Rejuvenating Glow set, providing an attack boost to party members. 4. The Bellborn Echo is also available for additional buffs. With the right build, filling up Baizhi's Resonance gauge is also pretty quick. However, be careful not to mess up generating Concerto energy. Only cast her Resonance skill when you have full 40 gauge stacks for a significant boost in Concerto energy. Unlike Verina, Baizhi's main buff targets a single character, so you have to be a little more mindful of your rotation as well. Still, if anyone can rival Verina's buffing utility, it has to be Baizhi. Yinlin's coordinated attacks come from her special heavy attack through her Forte circuit. A trick to quickly fill her Forte circuit is to use Resonance skill and then heavy attack. This should fill your Forte circuit gauge fairly quickly, allowing you to put the punishment mark on all targets you hit. Once marked, she deals additional coordinated attacks on those targets even when you switch her out. Punishment mark lasts 18 seconds and activates every second. This is perfect for generating lots of incandescent stacks with Jinhsi's Outro skill. Yinlin's Outro skill also boosts Jinhsi's Resonance Liberation damage by 25%. A slight downside is that she might spend more time on field when building Concerto energy. You can build her as a DPS with Void Thunder or as a support with Moonlit Clouds. Personally, I chose Void Thunder because her skill multipliers are quite good. Just a quick side note, did you know hitting the like button boosts your luck in game? Okay, maybe not, but it definitely boosts the channel. But give it a try. Who knows, you might get a copy of Jinhsi with a single pull. Mortefi can provide coordinated attacks via his Resonance Liberation. The best part? It's super easy to fill his 40 circuit, which helps fill his Concerto gauge faster. His coordinated attacks also trigger fast, with a 0.35 second cooldown. So once Jinhsi's Outro skill is activated, he is more than capable of generating many incandescent stacks. One downside is that his Outro skill boosts heavy attack damage, which doesn't help Jinhsi's DPS much. Also, his resonance liberation only lasts 10 seconds without his S4 resonance chain. But once you've unlocked S4, the duration is increased to 17 seconds. Just so you know, his resonance liberation has a cooldown of 20 seconds, making the downtime of the skill just 3 seconds as long as you can generate resonance energy fast enough. And at S6, he can boost the whole team's attack by 20% with his resonance liberation. He is best paired with the Moonlit Clouds set for an additional attack bonus after using his outro skill. Plus, since you're using the Moonlit Cloud set, you should use the Impermanence Heron as his main echo so you can further buff the next Resonator's damage. Ideally, Jinhsi should come next after Mortefi in a team rotation so you can take advantage of these buffs. Yuanwu provides off-field damage with his Resonance skill and excels at providing coordinated attacks for Jinhsi. His Resonance skill has a 3-second cooldown and a 12-second duration, allowing virtually 100% uptime. He takes very little on-field time as he only needs to drop his Resonance skill and then swap out right away. This gives Jinhsi more time to be active on the field and indirectly raises your DPS. One downside is that his Resonance skill only works in an AoE, so you have to reposition it once in a while, especially for agile monsters like the Impermanence Heron. And with minimal on-field time, you won't often fill his Concerto energy or activate his Outro skill for Moonlit Clouds. To circumvent this, equip him with the 3-star Originate Type 4 weapon and switch to the Rejuvenating Glow set. Then equip your other sub-DPS or healer with the Moonlit Cloud set. This way, you're pretty much playing a 2-man team most of the time, occasionally triggering Rejuvenating Glow with a basic attack from Yuanwu. He doesn't need much gear investment either, as his main role is providing Jinhsi with constant incandescent stacks. Of course, it's always better to have him geared up if you have the resources. While Spectro Rover cannot provide off-field damage, he or she can provide Spectral Resistance Shred once you get him to S6. I'm not actually sure if the Resistance Shred stacks if you land both his normal and enhanced Resonance skills, but if it does, the trick is to cast the normal Resonance skill, Heavy Attack, and then 2 to 3 basic attacks in succession so you can fill enough Forte Gauge to do his enhanced Resonance skill. The outro skill pairs well with Jinhsi, effectively freezing time for 3 seconds, giving you a window to activate Jinhsi's Illuminous Epiphany without worry. The damage scaling of his Resonance Liberation is also pretty good. As a bonus, S4 provides some party healing whenever Resonance Liberation is cast. While not significant, it boosts survivability against tough bosses nonetheless. This also gives you the option to use Rejuvenating Glow if Verina and Baizhi's energy is depleted in the Tower of Adversity. Jianxin doesn't provide off-field damage, making her less optimal for Jinhsi. Plus, her slower pace makes accumulating Concerto energy a little difficult. However, she's a solid alternative if Baizhi and Verina are unavailable when clearing the Tower of Adversity. She excels in crowd control with her Resonance Liberation, which is ideal for mob-heavy floors. Jianxin also provides healing and shields, making the Rejuvenating Glow set suitable for her. Her Outro skill can also give Jinhsi a 38% boost in Resonance Liberation damage. That said, it's usually better to use her in a different team if possible, but she's an option if you really don't have a choice. Taoqi looks good on paper with her Resonance skill boost from Outro skills. However, her slow attack speed and kit make it tough to fill her Concerto energy. I guess you can make her work with the Discord weapon and Rejuvenating Glow set, while your other sub-DPS or healer will equip the Moonlit Cloud set. But even with this setup, it's hard to build Concerto energy without successful parries from her Forte circuit, which I suck at. I know I mentioned in my previous video that a team with Taoqi and Jinhsi could work, but after more time examining their synergy, I honestly think you're better off using Taoqi in a different team. Given her lack of off-field damage, you won't generate as many incandescent stacks with Taoqi on the field. And the more time she spends trying to generate Concerto energy, the more DPS you lose, unless you're really good at strategic parry, which I am definitely not. With that said, here are my team recommendations. For the highest damage potential, go with Jinhsi, Verina, and Yinlin. If you can constantly fill Yinlin's Forte Gauge using the trick I mentioned, her off-field damage is going to be fantastic. And even when Yinlin is active on the field, her damage is high enough to maintain DPS. She can even unleash huge burst damage with her Echo skill and Resonance Liberation. Verina is great for her buffs, but if you don't have her, Baizhi will do fine. If you don't have Yinlin and still want somewhat strong off-field damage, go with Jinhsi, Verina, and Mortefi. Mortefi is especially good once you have him at the higher sequence of his Resonance chain, especially at S6. Keep in mind though that he's pretty bad at S0. However, if you have Jian, just pair him with Mortefi. The man is practically made for Jian's kit. For an easy team rotation, I'd recommend Jinhsi, Yuanwu, and Verina. This team's rotation is a breeze, and you'll consistently generate tons of incandescent stacks without too much effort. The best part? Yuanwu doesn't need much investment to make this team run like a well-oiled machine. For a more F2P-friendly option, go with Jinhsi, Baizhi, and Spectro Rover. Sure, Verina would be ideal, but I don't want to leave Baizhi hanging. She is very pretty after all. But take note that it will be pretty hard to generate stacks if you choose Baizhi over Verina. The key here is to use Spectro Rover's S6 by performing resonance skills before switching to Jinhsi and bursting the mobs to oblivion. If you're feeling cocky, try a no-healer team with Jinhsi, Yuanwu, and Mortefi. The incandescent stack generation will be insane, but it's not for the faint of heart. I mean, it's a no-healer team. Need I say more? And if you're looking for some kind of challenge, go with Jinhsi, Taoqi, and Yuanwu. Maybe it's just me, maybe it's just a skill issue or something that I missed. I mean, I really suck at that strategic parry thingy. So anyway, you could also go with Jinhsi, Verina, and Taoqi, but that might be too easy for you. I hope this video helped you with building your own Jinhsi team a little bit. For more videos like this, please don't forget to leave a like and subscribe. See you in the next one.